Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brittany. And today we have our guest host, Jaycee, with us. Well, with me. Oh, my God.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brittany.
Yes. So today, you guys just get the two of us.
No,
because
Cynthia.
Cynthia's has a busy schedule this week, so you're stuck with us.
We miss you, Cynthia.
Yes. But don't worry, next episode, it'll be the two of you.
That'll be interesting. We've never done it, just me and you, and just me and Cynthia.
Yeah, I can't wait to listen to your episode. All right, so we are talking about season 3, episode 3.
Yes.
It is titled First Day on a Brand New Planet. Okay, these titles. Aired the October 19th, 2005. And the synopsis is Lucas and Haley dig up their previous predictions for the new school year. Mouth interviews for his podcast. And then Dan tries to get Whitey fired.
I think it's kind of cool. Mouth is doing a podcast, and we're on a podcast.
I know, it's kind of like he was somewhat of the first start of them.
Yeah. And
it's cool because it's on a TV show that he's doing it.
Yes. And, I didn't even know what a podcast was back then.
Me either until a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's when they really got popular.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like the pandemic hit and it was like everyone was stuck at home. So
it had nothing else to do. So you started listening to things on the internet.
Well, and especially because there was no new movies coming out, no new TV shows because they couldn't film. So you were stuck with reruns. And so,
so if you wanted something fresh and new, you had to listen to a podcast.
Well, and I always thought it was fun for the pandemic because you got to see so many reunions, on video, that you just would never imagine because they didn't have time. Their schedules were not aligned, but it was during COVID.
Yeah, when the whole world shut down, shoot, you got nothing but time.
Mm-hmm. That's why I do think I think it taught us to take a step back and see what's important.
Yeah, be a little more grateful for the people in your lives.
Mm-hmm. And the life you have.
Yes. Because it can change in the matter of an instant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, you ready to get into this? All right. So starts off with Lucas. He pulls out that little box in the wall. With their predictions.
So I couldn't help but think they've been making these predictions for how long, and they all are still in that tiny box.
Yeah, because they're not even using little pieces.
I'm like, how are they still fitting in there?
Well, I was actually thinking too, that's a waste of paper. Because you see, Haley makes one prediction and then she folds that up.
Right.
She used a full notebook sheet.
She could have put that on a sticky note.
I don't know why they didn't.
For real.
Or, those little cards you can buy?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just use that? Because first of all, that would fit in the box better.
Yes.
And also, you would be saving trees. I know. I did think that the paper was wasteful. That's what I was thinking. But you do have a good point that, after all those years, there's no way that it would still fit there.
No, because they're both using full-size notebook paper every time.
for one prediction a year.
It doesn't seem realistic.
And don't you think that you can come up with more predictions for your school year besides one?
Oh yeah, one is. I could come up with probably 100. No, that's exaggerated.
Now I kind of want to see you come up with 100.
Oh, hell no.
And that's just for the year.
I'm good on that. I could come up with like 5 to 10.
But I feel like, did you know? I mean, they were coming up with their predictions even from the past. It was all about relationships.
I thought it was supposed to be about the school year.
Because remember, Lucas is like, he reads Haley's. It was, I'm gonna kiss a boy. Like it's, and then his was, he's gonna get back with, or he's gonna
Talk to
talk to
Peyton.
Peyton, and it's like that's about relationships. I thought you can't come up with anything better. Lucas should have been years ago. Like, I don't know. I'll be Nathan or one. I don't know. Just like
Yeah, like I'm
something
gonna be the
next star.
what's it? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't that was the one thing I didn't like was that it revolved around their dating life. It wasn't about the predictions that you would have, I feel like.
No. Like this year I'm gonna get all A's.
Well, especially like what class you're probably gonna have the next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like leading up to like do the prediction, it'd be like this year, I passed chemistry. It's like
Right.
that would be like my prediction is like that kind of stuff, not their
Love
prediction.
it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about that too much in high school. I mean, yeah, I had crushes, but I wasn't like as focused as they are on my love life.
Theirs is like 99% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know
I
where
don't think
school
I
fits
was
in.
mature enough in high school to be worried about marriage and whatnot.
Well, and I don't even think they're worried about marriage except for Haley. But
Yeah.
um, but I mean, I think that's because we were just focused on just trying to get through high school.
Yeah, get by to the next day every
Yeah.
day.
So I feel like that's what we were focused on. But yeah, it was I do feel like they could have come up with more
I think
predictions, better ones.
absolutely. I think it's like a cute tradition, but yeah, it could have been done a little differently.
And don't you think that they could use the same paper and wrote every year's
Yeah,
prediction?
just write the year.
Because think about it. You already know what it says from the year before, so it's not surprising. All
No,
you got to do is skip a couple lines and then write your next prediction.
I think that would have been a way better process of doing it.
Yeah. And because I do agree with you that they didn't fit. Unless they just started like freshman year.
Right.
Maybe. And that's probably what happened, but so this would be their fourth paper, but even 8 papers fitting
That'd be
inside
a
that
lot to
box.
stick in that little tiny box.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have used some better. Also, is it weird that there's a brick that just pulls out of the wall?
Um, if the building's old enough, I could see it.
Isn't it creepy?
I've seen it in coffee shops, brick coffee shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is creepy though. I agree.
Well, especially because they're up top on the roof.
Yeah.
So that's weird. But yeah, I do think it's a cool idea. It's just I wish, it could have been
Could have been
a little
done
more.
differently.
Yeah.
Make
But
it
yeah, I
more
know.
accurate.
And then for them to say, I don't know what I'm gonna put down. It's gonna be your love life. So
For
really,
real.
yeah. And then Lucas and Haley walk into school. See, they're finally at school. They go to their lockers, and who's there?
Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nathan.
Yes, oh Nathan, saying to her that she should have kept her stage name.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, I mean, I don't blame him for being a little salty.
Would you talk to her?
I think in that situation, I couldn't help but talk to her.
So
I'm petty.
it would go Haley, Lucas, then Nathan, right?
Yeah.
Alphabetical. So technically they're not next to each other. But when they go to their lockers, are they technically right next to each other?
I didn't notice.
Because technically they should all three be right next to each other, but it should be Haley, Lucas, then Nathan.
You're right.
Alphabetically, because it would also go by your first name if you share the same last name.
I wonder. I didn't pay that close attention, but they were next to each other?
Well, Nathan says, should have used your state, because then it should be under J's, not S's.
Yeah.
But I didn't see where exactly like his was compared to theirs, but all three should be right next. Like nobody should be
right in a row.
unless they've got other Scots running around in the school.
Doubt it.
Especially that same class, because your locker is with your class, not with the whole school.
Right.
So yeah, I am curious because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, so then their whole high school career, wouldn't Lucas and Nathan have been next to each other?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which doesn't make any sense from last.
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What?
No.
In season 1, Lucas is at his locker.
Uh-huh.
Nathan's at his locker, and he is talking to Tim, saying, "Who's that girl that he's always with?" And he's looking down the hall.
They should have been next to each other, unless he was at Haley's locker.
No, she was at his locker.
Oh,
Because then Haley walks away, and Lucas is still at his locker. Because I think Brooke comes up to his
that
locker.
doesn't make sense.
So technically, yeah, they should have always been next to each other. But when I think back to season 1, they were not.
That's weird.
And you could say, well, maybe they got to pick their lockers, but then it wouldn't add up to Nathan this year saying you should have used your stage name.
No, I bet you the writers or whoever didn't really look that closely into it in the beginning.
I don't know. I don't know if they thought they weren't going to get another season, so they're like, whatever you're writing. It's kind of like Boy Meets World. Whatever you write in the first season, it's not really going to add up.
Right.
So to the rest of the seasons, it might be one of those. But yeah, I mean that's a continuity issue, people.
For real.
Especially because when you're in school, they do go alphabetically.
I had lockers by the same people all 4 years.
Me too. The only year I didn't was 8th grade.
I don't even remember where I think mine was in 8th grade too, all by the same people. What?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't? It was by you?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the year that, because I was, that was our last year in middle school.
Yeah.
That the secretary asked me to go pick what locker I want.
Oh.
And then I did. I picked the one close by everywhere.
Yep.
But I wanted the end one because I didn't want 2 people next to me. I wanted just one.
Makes sense.
So mine was the very first one in the section, so by the wall, so it was good. But then on the first day of school, I find out that yours and Cynthia's are right next to me.
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
They did, because they wanted me and my friends next to each other.
That's awesome.
Because you and Cynthia, you never had lockers right next to each other.
No.
But you did that year.
Yep.
And
Okay.
it was nice because you didn't use your locker. So I kind of had space.
Yeah.
I'm like, people not next to me. It was great.
I went to my locker like I think twice a day to hang my coat up when I got there and then to get it when
And if it was nice out, you probably didn't even go to your locker.
no.
Yeah, so it was nice that year. I didn't have people next to me.
You got all sorts of room.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I just remember, I mean, think about our last names. They don't go
Yeah,
together.
no.
And I mean, you and Cynthia are closer, but you're still off.
Exactly. There's still people between us.
Yeah, but that year, and I'll never forget because it's not like we were like, oh my God, our lockers are next to each other. It was like that day I found out our lockers were next to each other.
That worked out so nice though. I love that.
Yeah. But that was the only year but other than that, they were assigned.
Yeah.
And that in 8th grade was actually the year that somebody was in Cynthia's locker. And I remember exactly who it was.
I kind of remember this.
Because we came back from our assembly that we had every year at the beginning,
Yep.
the opening assembly of our principal talking, and then we went to our lockers. And when I came out, I was like, oh my God, that's Cynthia's locker. Who is, like someone's at her locker. What? And but then somebody was in mine.
Oh,
And I know exactly who it was.
what were they doing?
That was her locker.
But it was your locker.
So and I don't even know how this one got my locker because her last name was even after my last name.
Oh
So I
wow.
don't even know how she even got that locker because she should have been down the lunch one. That was like the end of the alphabet. And so yeah, I'll never forget. Like I had to take my stuff and put it in the office. And then that's when my grandma was in there that day, thank God, helping. So she got to watch our stuff.
Yeah.
And because Cynthia also had to take her stuff there. And yeah, they were like, well, we'll get it figured out by the end of the day. And I think what happened was, I don't know if it was like like technology, if it just assigned them those
They
lockers.
assigned it to two people.
So without realizing it. So yeah, so then I'll never forget the last hour of the day for me was science. And our science teacher was very strict. Love her.
Oh, I loved her, yes.
And she was very strict. Most people did not like her, but I liked her.
She was good to us.
Yeah. And so keep in mind, this is also a teacher that did not hold back.
No.
Which I loved. And so we're, first day of school, nothing like scaring people, but she was like, you're not allowed to bring your book bag. And this is to the girl, not to me.
Yeah.
My stuff is all in the office. And she told the girl she couldn't bring her book bag into class because, we don't do that in our school.
Yeah.
Unlike all these TV shows, we use our lockers for our book bag. So, yeah, she told her she had to go and put her book bag in her locker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what she said? She said, someone has my locker, so I can't.
Ah!
But also, I had the locker first.
And it wasn't even your fault.
But I had it first. I picked the locker.
Yeah.
So when she had the nerve to say that someone has her locker, you had my locker. Get it right.
Sometimes I have dreams that I can't find my locker or I can't find my class and I miss class. Still to this day. It's creepy.
I know. I have some like I'm gonna be late.
Yeah,
And then I wake up, I'm like, it's Saturday. I'm not even late for work.
for real. Oh my gosh, it's so weird because it feels so real in the dream.
But isn't it weird that we don't even dream that we're late for work?
No, it's freaking school.
Cool. Or, oh my God, I have a test today that I didn't study for. I haven't taken a test and God knows.
For real, it's so weird.
It's like the last time I took a high school test was 13 years ago.
For real. Oh my God, we're
It's like-
old.
It's like I haven't taken a test in that long. It's like, really? But yet my dreams are more like nightmares are still haunting me.
Yes, it's like, what is it ever gonna stop? Probably not.
No, we'll be 70 and go, oh my God, I'm late for school.
I forgot to do my homework.
And I'll be like, God dang it, I'm retired. I don't know what I'm even dreaming about.
For real.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
I pray it doesn't.
Okay, that's my prediction.
Yeah, mine too.
Yes, I don't want to have that when I'm that old.
Hell no.
I wanna be able to just like wake up like, huh, I had a good night's rest.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. What's that like? Well, I don't have that yet. Oh, and then did you see that Lucas decorated Brooke's locker?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but all of a sudden they're walking together after he was walking with Haley. And they walk to her locker and she opens it up and he decorated it. And I'm like,
How do you get over?
oh, I know.
It don't make sense.
Nope. I know. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's nice and cute, but I'm like, how did she get it? How did he get in there?
Unless he got a hold of like the master key. Maybe Whitey has one.
Unless Brooke gave him her combination.
But why would she do that?
I feel like boyfriends and girlfriends did that back in the day.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, some people would share a locker. Like
Yeah,
in high school. Like in high school, I remember couples sharing lockers, and it was like, what are you gonna do if you break up?
And be like, can you change my combination?
And the school's gonna say, no.
It's your fault. Don't give out your password.
Exactly.
Whatever it's called, combination.
So because that was always like my thing in school was like, I didn't give it out to anyone because no, that's mine.
Yeah.
And so for Brooke, it was weird. I'm like, unless she gave it to him, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, that I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was weird too, because I'm like, how did he? But yeah, it was all cute. He put Lucas and Brooke forever and stuff.
They're not even dating.
I know. Like Lucas has done like 10 steps ahead.
Oh, Lucas, you poor boy. You're gonna get your heart broken.
Oh my God. Wait, aren't you a Brooke and Lucas fan?
I don't know. I'm not a Brooke and Lucas fan. I'm just saying, like, he's doing all that and they're not even together. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, when did he have time to go in there and do that? All I know is in Tree Hill, these students are able to just roam the school whenever they please, night, day, whenever.
Well, back in the day, we didn't have too much security at our school.
We also couldn't be in the school.
I was there after hours a lot.
For what?
Band.
Well, I remember in middle school, we had to be out by 3:10. And if you weren't out by 3:10, you were in trouble. And you could only be in the school if you had somewhere to go. Like when they
I
walked those
mean,
halls, you had to be, like vanished.
yeah, I remember that, but well, I guess I'm thinking more like high school.
But high school, I feel like they wanted you out too.
There's always a lot going on after school at high school, so I don't know. I spent a lot of time there, and there was always a lot of people roaming the halls and doing things.
That they shouldn't be.
Probably.
Like you were doing.
Oh no, I was a good kid.
Oh, then we go to Brooke and Haley. And they're talking about the first day, and then this is where Haley says that she is behind in the first time ever in school. What did she think was going to happen when she left on tour?
She went on tour. Of course, she's gonna get behind.
Yeah, unless she was doing her schoolwork, which I don't think she was.
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, yeah, Lucas brought that one essay exam thing, remember,
Hmm.
to her, but that was the only time we saw that she was doing schoolwork.
Hmm.
And so even that, if you hadn't done anything like that semester, but then all of a sudden you're going to take one essay test or something, like, do you really think you're going to pass that?
Well, wait, that was the first day of school.
What?
How's she so behind if it's like the first day of school?
Well, she's saying from like last year.
Oh, how'd she even pass to the next grade?
I mean, technically we had kids that they were behind in like one or two classes that they had to like redo.
And they were still in the next grade.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could be you could be a junior, but you just had to take one or two
True.
like sophomore classes.
So that's probably how she's behind.
Yeah. And so I guess she's gonna have to work twice as hard. Oh, poor Haley.
It's her own fault.
Uh-huh. And then let's see. Oh, oh yeah, this is when it was funny because then Peyton walks up. And then she says, "You could always join a rock tour, but you already did that." And then walks away.
Freaking Peyton.
Well, I love that Peyton is on this, I hate Haley thing
Why?
because she's sticking up for Nathan.
Her ex-boyfriend?
Yeah. Think about it. Haley left Nathan. She also left all of them. And
Yeah.
and then everyone else, Lucas, Brooke, Karen, Deb, like everybody's all like, "Oh, Haley, I'm so glad you," like as if nothing happened. And then there's Nathan who, is heartbroken and upset. And so
Hmm.
I'm happy that somebody is siding with Nathan on this.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you don't want to watch a show and only the person that is hurt is the only one that is dealing with this, and everyone else is like, "Oh, she's great," and this and that, and you're like, "What?"
I get it, but I feel like I would be like, "Oh, excuse me, who are you? You used to be with my man," so I would be like, "Your opinion's irrelevant."
Yeah, but she used to like Haley, I guess. I don't know. Well, it's becoming the Brooke and Haley dynamic.
Yeah.
Like Peyton definitely, especially in the beginning of season 3, kind of like fell off with Brooke because of the whole Ellie thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, and then that's where Haley walks past those mean girls.
Man, I don't know if I can say it, but them girls are bitches.
They were. And my thing is, I thought Brooke and Peyton were at the top of the school.
Yeah.
How are these girls gonna pick on Haley?
Well, because Nathan's the most popular.
Yes, but he still wouldn't allow that.
They probably are just like, how could she do this to Nathan when Nathan's so hot?
But don't you think like Brooke would do something to that?
You would think.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of odd. I was like, okay.
Them sitting there laughing at her.
hmm Then of course Nathan's watching and sees it.
Oh yes.
But he didn't do anything about it at that point.
Shoot, what could he do, really?
Oh, and then that's where Mouth sits down with Nathan. And that's where he wants to interview him.
Oh gosh.
And then all Nathan says in the podcast is, I think we'll have a great season. It's like Mouth's just going on. All Mouth
Poor
did this
Mouth.
episode was go on about Erica and how she dumped him.
Oh my god. He needs to get over it.
hmm Oh, and then Dan goes into Whitey's office. And then that's where he tells him, his plan to fire him.
Why is he trying to get rid of Whitey? He's such a good guy.
Because Dan hates Whitey. He thinks he ruined his high school career, basketball career, and he thinks he's doing it to Nathan. He's
Whitey
always
has
had this
nothing but good
hatred.
intentions for people.
Yeah, Dan is just like something else. It's like, really, like, let him be.
I like though that Whitey is like scared to fire Dan when he's lighting it.
Yeah, I know that was. But did you see Dan's face though? I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the wheels were turning inside his brain.
He's scared, Dan.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that I did think that was funny too.
What did he say? The isn't fire the devil's best friend?
Something like that. Fire was supposed to be Satan's friend.
Yeah.
It was funny though. Yeah, when he was like, "Oh, you're a little skittish," it's like, but I did think it was sad when he gave him that, opened up that notebook, or whatever, and or the folder, and showed him what's on the agenda.
Gosh. They can't replace Whitey. Ain't no way they'd be able to find somebody as passionate.
Yeah, I think that's sad. Well, I mean, who's going to be the coach? Dan?
I think they could. I think the team would be boycotted at that point.
Well, I mean, remember they tried that at the end of the last season. Remember when he was making the boys run so much
Oh yes.
and torturing them?
Oh
Yeah, you don't want somebody like that.
hell no. It's like Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Dan is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ellie. She walks in the cafe to see Lucas. And then she tells him that she has cancer. And she doesn't want Peyton to know, of course.
I feel like Peyton does deserve to know that.
Well, yeah, I feel like she needs to know for like two reasons. One, so she can decide right now if she wants to get to know Ellie, so she doesn't think in 30 years I should have done it.
Yeah,
But
time's very
also,
important.
but also, she should know for her own health.
Right. Because
Because
it's not like Ellie's that old, so it's probably something that's it could be genetic.
yeah, because it could be passed down to Peyton since that's her biological mom. And and yeah, in 17 years, you don't want that to be you. So I think Peyton should know.
She has a right.
And Ellie's the one that came around into Peyton's life. So if she thinks that, like Peyton, she acts like Peyton was like chasing after her.
No, that ain't the case whatsoever. She's been
No,
stalking Peyton.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't think that she's acting like that. And it's
Mm-mm.
like, no. And plus, like Peyton just found out that she was even adopted. For this whole time,
It's a
she thought
lot
that,
for her.
yeah, she thought her mom was her mom.
I can't imagine growing up your whole life thinking that and then finding out something different. It'd flip your whole world upside down, I imagine.
Mm. Well, yeah, you think your mom carried you and all of this, only to find out she didn't and some other lady did.
Yeah, you're genetically somebody else's child.
Mm-hmm. Like, and then you're like, well, what did I get from my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be hard, especially that she's 17.
I could never imagine going through that, finding
And
that
then
out.
and then to find out that your birth mom is only coming to see you because she has cancer.
Right.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Ellie's only
Mhm.
coming back because she has cancer.
It's true.
But then she wants Peyton to come into her life only for her to die.
That's kind of selfish in a way.
Yeah, like, oh, let me make like, you'll fall in love with me. But in a couple
Yeah,
months
get
I won't be
attached
here.
and then I'm gone.
Yeah, it's like, and the fact that Peyton already lost a mom and then she's gonna lose you. That's nice.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, then to put Lucas in the middle.
That's tough because it's like Ellie. I feel like Ellie has some intent, like a hidden agenda with that. Like she's telling Lucas, I think, knowing Lucas is probably going to eventually tell Peyton, so she doesn't have to be the one to do it.
Well, I mean, how could you not if you were Lucas? I mean, you
Yeah,
see Peyton every day. How could you not tell somebody that you see all the time, like,
I wouldn't be able to keep that from my friend.
no, I mean, if I knew something big like that about you I'd be like, oh my God, I have to tell you, like, I can't do this anymore.
Exactly, that's not something I could keep a secret.
No, I would definitely lose sleep. So I feel, and plus Lucas is the good one, like the good guy. He eventually will tell her.
Oh yeah, and I think Ellie knows that deep down.
And that's why she went to him.
Yep, that's my opinion on it.
All to say, I don't want her to know. I think you do.
Because otherwise, why would you tell somebody that's super close to her?
Because you could have just
Like
left it at what it was.
he's obviously on Peyton's side,
And he cares for her. You can see that.
right?
Well, shouldn't she be happy that that she has Lucas?
She probably is.
Because, like, think about it. You gave up your daughter, and then all to find out, like, she has this really good guy in her life, like, and you're dying. Like, that would just be like music to your ears to know, she'll be okay.
Yeah, like she's got somebody looking out for her.
Yeah, instead of being alone and being all sad and stuff, it's like she's gonna be good. Like I can go now, sort of thing.
Absolutely, you would
I don't
think.
know. I feel like that's how I would be, but Ellie's not
She's
that person.
different, that's for sure.
But for Ellie, I will say, I mean, it is sad that she has cancer and like, I mean, what is she supposed to do?
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. Because I guess Peyton can always say, at least I got to know her.
yeah. Before she's gone,
Yeah. And then
if you don't
instead of,
regret it.
yeah,
Regret is something awful.
yeah, because I feel like if she doesn't, like spend time with her, 30 years, 50 years later, she'll be like, I wish I would have.
And you can't get that time back ever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like both are, it's tough. And then Lucas is at the river court, and then Dan walks up.
Freaking Dan, I'm so sick of him.
And then he tells him that he thinks that Lucas started the fire.
If he knew Lucas at all, he would know that ain't true. But he's just an evil man.
Mm. And he brings up this dog reference when he said that, like he took the dog in and spoiled him, and I'm like, okay.
Talking about his own kid as a freaking dog.
And then it was funny though, because he said one day he bit me, and then Lucas said, "Smart dog."
Ah, I love the comeback.
Oh my god, me too. It was hilarious. Um, but what I didn't like was when Dan was, like before he walked away, he threw the ball at Lucas's chest.
He wants to hurt Lucas.
And I don't understand. That's your flushing blood.
Some people don't care. I mean, Dan, he never really cared for Lucas, and we've seen that time and time again. So now, especially that he thinks Lucas tried to kill him.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, his dad is the devil.
Straight up.
And then you wonder, like, too, like the fact that Lucas survived all these years, like being in the same town as Dan.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, that nothing else happened. And that Karen actually got to keep the cafe all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Dan would be the person that would try to sabotage her cafe so that they would move away.
I could see that. He is that evil. He is that petty. He would do something like that. But I feel like Karen kind of laid low and kept to herself and
Yeah.
tried to stay out of his way because she knows what a vindictive person he is.
I wonder how far apart the cafe and dealership are. I mean, is it like two sides of the town that you will never cross paths?
I'm curious.
Because it could be. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not going to go on that side, like that end of the town.
Right. I could see that being a thing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. And then he says, "Good talk, son." Oh my God. When he calls him son, like what?
Cringy. It's cringy.
Yes, I did not like that. And then back at school, Nathan is walking with Peyton, trying to avoid Haley. So is this the next day?
I thought it was the same day, but who knows?
Because then why is Lucas at the river court?
Oh, it's got to be the next day.
But then the title is first day. So I'm a little confused.
That's confusing.
Yeah. And then Brooke and Haley are walking, and she tells her that she spent all the rent money, of course. I mean, see what she did to the apartment? Like, of course, I could see why, and her wardrobe.
Brooke's got her priorities screwed up, but then again, she's in high school. She's not an adult. She doesn't know how to budget.
Yeah. I feel like when you're that age, you're supposed to be like that.
Yeah, she shouldn't have to be worrying about paying rent.
And that's what Haley should be doing, but she wanted to get married instead.
If she's old enough to get married, she's old enough to do that other shit.
And then what did you think though when they ran into each other? And then Mouth starts like doing his like narrating and announcing stuff. I was
That's awkward. It was like, Mouth, shut up.
I was just like, that is like one of the most awkward moments. And like
I couldn't believe Mouth. I was like, can you not?
Like it was funny to like watch, but at the same time, I'm like, you know how awkward that would be if that was you?
For real.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And then they just walk away. I'm like, okay. And then it was okay. I thought this scene was a little weird. Haley goes to Whitey's office to talk about Nathan,
She probably don't know who else to talk about or
but
talk to you about.
in his office, which I'm confused. I thought he was a teacher.
I think he is. Yeah, because he did the time capsule.
So he should have his own classroom that she could go to talk to him,
He's obviously never in the classroom.
not his office.
Didn't he say, my office is in the locker room, detention?
Yeah, that was funny. But it was actually funny too because he called her, what can I help you with or whatever? Avril Lavigne.
Oh, shit.
But the fact that he knows who Avril Lavigne is, what?
Well, she was big at the time.
But Whitey knowing her?
Yeah.
Whitey.
At the time, she was quite the sensation.
Yeah, but like my grandpa wouldn't know who that is.
Well, Whitey works around teenagers.
You think the boys are just listening to her?
Well, they probably got crushes on her.
Have her poster in their locker.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets attention, which is funny.
I do love the fact that, like, later on, and we find out why she got detention.
Yeah, that was nice.
Like, go Whitey, you're the real one for that.
Well, then I thought it was funny. Like Whitey always has the best lines, but it was funny because he was like, listen, girly, I'm a basketball coach, not Dr. Phil.
The references.
But you kind of are Dr. Phil if everyone keeps coming to you
He
for their
is like
problem.
Dr. Phil. Everybody goes to Whitey for advice, but he's very wise.
Yeah. So I mean, I would think like that's a good compliment.
I think he just likes giving people a hard time.
Oh, he does. It's like his MO.
Yes.
How did you like when Karen and Larry were at the cafe talking about Peyton? Like they haven't had a scene since season 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that all of a sudden these two are spending time together.
Yeah.
I thought that was odd.
Yeah, it was very random.
It's like they didn't know what to do with them, so stick them together again.
Unless he just came to get some coffee and I don't know.
I mean, well, they were talking about Ellie and stuff. So what I thought was funny was when Karen said, like, oh, like who's her biological or no, she said who's her father, and he like looked at her and she goes, I mean biological father.
Oh my gosh. Does he ever say?
Well, he said that Ellie never told him.
Gotcha.
But I guess like that's where we find out that Ellie kind of picked them to be her parents.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I guess for him, it's good that he goes to Karen, I guess, because she's another adult, but I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird. Because remember, they did have those couple dates.
It's not like they've been close.
Yeah. So it's not like Keith or someone coming to her.
Yeah.
And then this is where when the good scene happens when Haley walks in to detention, and then Nathan joins them, and Whitey tells them they need to talk. And how'd you like when that one kid came in and he like said like beat it?
I'm like, go Whitey, go. He's always got some sort of little plan we don't know about.
Well, that's the thing is like there's always a lesson when it comes to Whitey.
Oh, absolutely. Every time.
Yeah, he doesn't just do things because.
No. He does it with a purpose.
Mm-hmm. But what did Nathan do that he got detention?
I don't know.
Because we only know what Haley does.
Yeah, they didn't show what Nathan did.
Yeah, I wish we would have found out just because it. I don't know, been funny to see like
Yeah.
what Whitey could get on him. And then Lucas and Haley are walking and they're talking about again their predictions, and then they were talking about detention, but and that's where she said like Nathan just ignored her the whole time.
How awkward would that be?
Awkward, but like, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's been super hurt. He doesn't know what to say.
And he didn't even want to run into her, let alone sit in detention with her.
Right, and he was forced.
So yeah, you're really not going to talk if you're forced.
No.
But then those mean girls again, I keep calling them that.
They are.
That's when they called her. Like, aren't you Kelly Clarkson when she walked by?
They need
then
to
they
give
fight.
her. They're probably just jealous of her.
I think they are, but I will say, like Haley going after them because of the comment, I'm like, I would be okay with that because being compared to Kelly Clarkson, sign me up.
For real.
It was like she's like one of the best vocals, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset. I would turn around and say thank you. Like, I mean, why fight over that?
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it's not like they said somebody bad. And then Whitey breaks them up. That was funny. And then he called. He said there wasn't going to be any cat fights on his watch. And then he goes, fighting at school. That's detention.
Detention.
And then that's when Haley was like, coach and stuff. And he goes, talking back to a teacher. That's two. And then she called him Whitey.
Never called him coach.
Well, then she called him Whitey. Well, she goes, Whitey, I really appreciate it, but I don't think it's going to work. And he goes, calling me Whitey. That's three.
That's three. Strike three, you're out.
But then he said he was serious about the third one for calling him Whitey.
Isn't that what everyone calls him?
They do, but isn't he a teacher? Wouldn't you call him Mr. Whitey, I guess?
What, is his last name Whitey? Or White?
No, that's his first name, isn't it? Isn't it Whitey Durham?
Oh. Oops. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I think is. So that'd be his first name. I don't know. They all call him Whitey.
I feel like that's a nickname.
Yeah. But then we got to detention.
Oh, detention.
And then that's where Nathan actually was talking to her and giving her some advice on how to handle it.
I was surprised.
Me too. And I was happy because it's like you don't really want to sit in detention alone, but I think he was curious too of the rumor.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the only reason why he talked to her. He just wanted to see if it was true.
I mean, I don't blame him.
But then when she said like add bully to her resume, I was like, they're the ones being the bullies.
For real, they're mean girls.
Yeah, so I wouldn't consider what she did or
I think she was defending herself.
She was, because they wouldn't stop. And did you see? They did it every time she was alone.
Yep, because they're scared to do it in front of anybody else.
Well, because she was walking with Lucas. They didn't say anything. She was walking with Brooke. It was always when she left them, then they said something.
They're scared.
Yeah, that's because they know that the others would say something to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Nathan gets home only to find Dan playing basketball. And then that's where he tells Dan that Whitey gave him detention. And then Dan's response to that was that, like Nathan isn't gonna have to worry about Whitey anymore because he's going to get him a real coach. What?
Yeah, and I still want to know who that coach is going to be that he thinks he's getting.
I'm guessing someone like him, like a dictator.
Yeah. No thanks. It's the last thing that them boys need.
Yeah. I thought that was rude, but I did like how Nathan's like, what? Yeah, like he cares.
Yes.
And then Lucas goes to Peyton's. And then he tells her that he was wrong about Ellie. And then they find Ellie and Larry in her room looking at her drawings.
That is such an invasion of privacy. Who does that?
Yeah, I will say I did not like that about Ellie. Like she's in her room.
Her dad shouldn't have even let her in.
No, and if you want to invite her in, like invite her into the living room or the kitchen, but not into her bedroom, her
That's
personal
just too
space.
far.
Yeah, she doesn't even know Ellie.
No.
And if she wants to invite Ellie in, that's fine, but not for her father to do that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be her safe space.
Yeah, so I did not like that at all. And I did like how she kind of went off on them
Yeah, me too.
because they deserved it.
Yeah, they had no right to be in there.
Though I just didn't like when she told Lucas, like, did you know and stuff. Because
Lucas
again,
got dragged into
he's
it.
kind of being put in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it's not fair.
And then at the apartment, Brooke tells Haley, she got a job at Suburban Filth.
Oh, the name is funny.
It is, and Haley just thinks it's funny too.
Go, Brooke. At least you got a job.
Yeah, at least you don't have to wear that crab suit. Well, it's at least something she is good at. Clothes.
Yes, it's right up her alley.
Mm-hmm. And then I thought this was weird. Nathan goes to the cafe to see Lucas, who's obviously not there.
Yeah.
But then, of course, while he's there, Karen brings up Haley.
Of course. Just a way to get him to talk to Karen.
And again, these two never really have scenes together.
No.
Because, Deb and Lucas have scenes together, but not Karen and Nathan.
They've never really had scenes like this.
No. And then she brings up how, when they talked on the river court that, all he wanted was Haley.
Mm-hmm.
And well, she's back. So, what are you going to do about it? It's like, she just got back. Calm down.
Give him some time. He's probably got to process it.
She's been gone for months. He thought she wasn't coming back. So let him deal with it. That's my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
I don't like that everyone's like, fix it and get over it. And it's like,
it's
what?
not his fault, though.
No, he actually wanted her to ask him to go with her.
Yeah.
And she didn't. And then we go to Peyton sitting on that bench, looking at the lights. I'm sure thinking of her mom when she ran the lights.
Yeah.
And then Larry joins her. And, talks about Ellie again. He's on this Ellie
Team
train.
Ellie. Yeah, Team Ellie.
Which is weird because when she first arrived, he said stay away from her.
Yeah, now all of a sudden he's rooting for her. It's a little odd.
Yeah, it's like, why the switch after what, a day?
Is it because of the cancer?
Probably. I mean, do you think maybe he thinks that if she, because she is dying, that then she just won't be in Peyton's life anymore?
Ooh, that could be.
Because think about it. He was up against her, but then, who she'd always be, she'd always be around. But if she's not around anymore, he gets to be number one again.
Ooh, I never thought of it like that.
Because think about it. Why else would he be all like, stay away and, I told you not to, come
And
here.
now all of a sudden, yeah.
Because you don't just switch that fast.
No. Hmm.
Yeah, no, that's all I can think of. And then at the school board meeting, outside, Mouth is going on about Erica again.
Oh my God, give it a break, Mouth.
And then Lucas and Mouth, they talk about Erica and relationships. But I do agree with Mouth when he said to Lucas, like, it's easy for you because, you have girls lined up to date you, but others don't.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's true. Because think about it,
But
everyone wants to date Lucas.
yeah, but Lucas doesn't necessarily want to date everyone. He probably, got
No,
eyes for that one specific person.
no, but at least he wouldn't be alone.
I can see that, but I think I'd rather be alone than be with the wrong person.
Yeah. I will say about Mouth though, like, did he really think Erica was the one or something?
I think he was probably just so lonely that he probably really thought she was
Because I'm
first
like,
girl to give him a chance.
yeah, because I'm like, it's Erica, and you didn't date that long
No,
for you to be this upset about her.
it's his first heartbreak.
Yeah. And of course, when you're in high school, you think it's 10 years, it feels like, when it's a month.
Yeah,
I guess, Brooke kind of showed that in season 1 when she was all, hot and heavy with Lucas. And it was like, okay, like, slow it down
yeah, very true.
just a little. And then we go inside, and Dan is making his speech of why Whitey should be fired. Ugh.
I was like, Dan, can you just shut up?
Mm-hmm.
And then Karen wanted to talk. Objection, objection. Dan, please shut your mouth. Let someone else speak.
But did you hear when he said that Whitey's running out of my DNA?
God, I was like,
Okay,
he
you
is,
only have 2 kids. It's not like you have 10.
he
Running out of your
is,
DNA.
he thinks he's just the best thing to have ever graced this planet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then he said that this year is Nathan's final year, and a lot of the other boys too. And I'm like, you don't care about the other boys.
He don't even care about Nathan.
No. But when he said the other boys, I was like, no. Like, you really lost me then, because there is no way you care about those other boys.
Dan don't care about nobody but Dan.
Exactly. But then did you see though when he said, I love Whitey? I'm like, if you love Whitey, why are you trying to get him fired then?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
No, yeah. I was just like, just stop talking.
He just
Yeah.
kept making himself look worse.
Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, when Karen stands up, and did you hear Dan though? He's like she's not on the school board. How come she still can't talk? Like, it should be an
Right.
open. If you're planning on firing someone, you should be able to hear from the public, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So
He just
Karen
knew
should.
that she would have a good point to make, and he didn't want people to hear it, I think.
Well, yeah, but I just didn't like his comment because I'm like, at school board hearings and meetings and stuff, they usually let a couple people talk.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a topic like this, where
For
Whitey didn't even
real.
do anything wrong. So that was, weird. Plus, Whitey got them last season to the championship,
Yeah.
or into the championship. So he is not that bad of a coach, is he?
I don't think so.
But I did love what Karen said. Sticking up for Whitey.
Yes.
And how that, Lucas, basically, basically Whitey got Lucas, to play basketball again, something he loves, and, that he does teach the boys, like, real things, and it goes beyond,
valuable life lessons.
beyond the game. And I was like, exactly, but I did think it was funny when she said that, it was something about, unlike other people, like, oh, this is what she said. But if you put too much focus on those things, in the end, all you're gonna end up with is a sad bunch of boys who never learn to leave the game behind. And
It Dan. Yup.
it was so funny.
I'm glad she added that in.
But then I liked when she said that that he, Whitey, deserves better. And he does, because he doesn't deserve this.
No, he's put up with a lot.
But did you see that when Karen started talking, Dan looks at his watch? I was like, get over yourself. He's probably timing her.
Good at playing that character.
Huh?
The actor is good at playing Dan.
He really is. I know, Paul's great at it. So that's the thing is, when you think of who could replace any of these people, nobody could play Dan Scott.
No.
There's only one person. And he fits it. But yeah, I liked it. And I loved how the team was outside, like, supporting him.
Yes, that made me happy to see that for Whitey.
Yeah, because they couldn't be inside, apparently.
I don't understand that.
Me either. And then Lucas goes up to Nathan, and he's like, "Oh, like, you care and stuff." And then Peyton shows up there, weird, and they both apologize. I still don't know why Lucas is apologizing.
No,
He didn't know Ellie was going to be in her room. And then Whitey comes outside and he tells them, like, sad news for them or whatever, that they're stuck with him.
He got me with that at first.
I know, I was like, what? Yeah, that part was good. Oh, and then in the gym, so, like, how far along was this? Because, like, was Lucas? I thought Lucas was there when Whitey announced that he was staying.
He was.
Because then we go to Lucas and Peyton inside the gym.
That is an odd jump there.
Yeah.
Unless they went from that meeting to the gym.
Because I'm like, why would you go back in? Wouldn't everyone just go home after the board meeting?
Maybe Lucas just went back in to blow off some steam, shoot some baskets.
Oh, it's just kind of weird, like, thinking about the transition.
That is a weird transition. I don't get it.
Yeah. And then
I can't believe Dan in that scene literally trying to kill Lucas.
I know, physically choking him
in front of Peyton.
But then he pushes Peyton's head.
I'd be pressing. Well, you probably can't press charges against Dan. He knows too many people.
I was just like, like, he literally said that. Oh, did you hear him when he pushed her? He said it's a family matter if you had one.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, he did. I was like,
he's such a bully. He's like, the OG bully.
I wish Larry was there when that happened.
Seriously, beat his ass.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. Oh, could you imagine, like, Larry, Keith, Andy? They'd all be on Peyton's side.
They would.
I was just like, I can't with this. Like, really?
That bothered me.
Yeah, bothered. And then to literally choke Lucas to almost death? Really? And then Peyton finally said, he didn't kill you, he saved you.
So they both told the secret.
Well, I mean, she kind of had to. He was about to die.
Yeah, she did save him by yelling that out.
Yeah. But then what I didn't like was when Lucas said, I did save your life. And then he said, I should have let you burn, which is good. But then, so Dan gets that look of like, oh, I was wrong, right?
Yup.
Then he, of course, because he's wrong, he now has to justify it. So then he, say something evil and says, a stronger man would have.
He just can never be grateful.
I know. He can never say the words thank you.
Nope. I don't think he knows how.
No. And that's why the look on his face right before that was, uh-oh, like I did it to the wrong person.
Yeah.
But then, of course, he can't just be nice or even just walk away. Just walk away. Instead, he has to say something evil again. Yeah, I hated that scene. Like, that is you're flushing blood. Somebody you created and you're trying to kill?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. I mean, but it is Dan. But then
Yeah.
when Peyton said that, like, are you okay? And he goes, that's my father. What do you think? I was like, yeah, his father is the devil. I mean, his father tried to kill him. Who does
I'm
that?
sure he's still got mixed emotions.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's your father. That's the
Yeah.
problem. That's your father. And then, I mean, he just does the worst things to his kids and stuff. Ooh. Well, I mean, in the same episode, he called to dig at Lucas, he called him son, and then you go and choke him.
Yeah.
But then he said that this is going to be their secret.
No, it's not.
No. Also, do you think this was like a setup? Like, especially this episode, there's a lot of like Lucas and Peyton that like hinting like something may happen. I mean, one of the
I didn't think about that.
one of the craziest moments was this for Lucas.
Yeah.
And who's there?
True.
Like Brooke's not around.
No.
I don't think Lucas ever tells her.
I don't think so either.
So I was thinking, like watching this scene, what makes me mad about the future is when Peyton is holding her daughter
Mm-hmm.
and Dan comes up to her and wants to hold her. I was like, absolutely not. Because right here, he pushed you in your with your, on your head away, and he tried to kill Lucas. So no, Peyton. I would not want the man that tried to choke my father to hold me.
No.
Like, that's so messed up. So yeah, when I see these evil scenes like this, I'm like, and then I know what happens. I'm like, Peyton, no. Did you remember this scene at all?
She's probably more forgiving than most.
Well, she must be, because I wouldn't be. I'd be like, remember when you tried to strangle him? But see, you always say I'm petty, so that would be me.
You are, but it's okay.
Well, he needs to hear it. Oh, and then Nathan's in his room going through those boxes, and what was it? And he held the salt and pepper shakers that had their wedding day on it.
Oh
as if they had all these gifts when they got married. And then Dan walks in, and Nathan tells him like it's over, like sort of get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. And then at the apartment, Lucas is there again talking about their predictions. Like that's what this whole episode for those two was. And then Nathan shows up and wants to talk. It's like they're all happy, laughing, and then he just brings the mood down.
Well, that's how it's gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was weird that he was like, well, at first when I watched it, I'm like, why would he want to get a divorce? But then I realized, because he still wanted their marriage to be on paper. But I'm like, that's so weird. I would rather just get it annulled, be like, it never exists.
Oh my God. Well, then you wouldn't have one divorce under you
Yeah. Well, I've never
at
been divorced.
17.
Yeah.
Um, well, annulment probably takes less time than the divorce.
Yup.
Yeah, you can move on a lot faster.
That's what I'd rather do.
But what I did not like was that Nathan said he wanted a divorce, and I'm like, okay, buddy. This is the same person that ruined his life while she was gone. And
Yeah.
like, buddy, whatever. But I don't like it because of what he does in the end when he walks her down the hall.
Yes. Because he's
For
giving her that false hope.
Like for me, if I was Haley and you just told me that that night before that you wanted to divorce me, I would be like,
That'd be so
don't
confusing.
don't be walking me down the hall.
Like, if you want a divorce, stick to that. Don't be giving me these mixed signals.
But don't walk me down the hall. I can
Yeah.
walk myself down the hall. I
To
don't
me,
need
it's like
you.
he wants to be with her then.
But then the night before he says he wants a divorce. Which one is it, buddy?
Exactly. It's wishy-washy.
You can't have both.
No.
That's why I was like, Nathan. That's why I was like, okay, like rolling my eyes, you want a divorce. But then the ending happens, and I'm like, I can't. Because if I was
Doesn't make
Haley, I would be
sense.
like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Well, he puts his hand on her back. What? He doesn't even want to be around her, and all of a sudden, he says he wants a divorce, and now he wants to be around her? Like, am I being punked? Like, what?
That part I was like, okay, this ain't
This,
making sense.
this whole episode, Nathan is avoiding Haley.
Yep.
But then the ending, it's like, what? Now you want to be with her?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And then back at the apartment, Brooke wants Lucas to stay, and he says, not until they're exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, Lucas. He
Mm-hmm.
just wants to be with Brooke, but Brooke just being stubborn.
She doesn't want to put her heart on the line. Oh, and then in Whitey's office, Mouth gets a statement from Whitey that it's going to be his last year, which is
That
sad.
was sad to hear.
But I mean, for show purpose, like it's their last season too. And then Lucas and Haley, they make their predictions alone, and then they put it back in the wall. That was nice. It's like, oh my God, we're done with the predictions.
Yeah.
That was my thought. And then did you see that Peyton was recording her podcast?
I did.
I think that was the first time we saw it. Oh, and then Brooke was going through all her letters. Now, was she writing a letter to Lucas and then adding it, or was she just reading it?
That's what I was looking at, but they were addressed to him.
Yeah, because it looked like she had like a pen in her hand, but then then she was putting in the box of all the other ones, and I was like, what?
She's like writing these letters but not giving them to him, or it was confusing.
Yeah, it's like all the letters she wrote him every day through the summer.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean, eventually just give it to him. Sheesh.
That's a lot of letters.
And then when Dan's in his car, what did the cop give him?
Some sort of information. I don't know what. Something he wasn't supposed to have.
Yeah, it was weird. And then that terrible ending, Nathan walking Haley to class.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Well, and again, if you want a divorce, that means they're over, which means she's gonna have to be single or move on to someone else, and she's got to figure that out.
Acting like a boyfriend, a husband, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's like, no, you don't get to have it both ways.
No, can't have your cake and eat it too, bud.
Yeah,
Pick one or the other.
I'd be like, "Have you Patty? You want a divorce? Great, we're gonna get a divorce."
Yep.
So yeah, that was the episode. I thought it was good.
I liked it. It held my attention.
Mm-hmm. I my high was when Karen was actually standing up for Whitey. I liked that moment
That was a good moment.
because nobody else was. I mean, everybody was outside, but nobody was inside.
No.
Especially after what Dan was saying, he needed somebody.
Yes.
And then the low was definitely Dan choking Lucas.
I'm gonna agree on that one. That was my low too. I mean, it was like a high in a way. It was like shocking, but it was a low and like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If Peyton wasn't in there, he probably would have choked him to death.
Yeah, because there'd be no witnesses.
Yeah. I mean, because Peyton was the one that finally said the truth because Lucas wasn't going to tell the truth.
Mm-mm.
So why would you die over that secret?
I wouldn't. It ain't worth it. Not for Dan Scott.
No.
I think my high is gonna be Whitey coming out, and he got me with that one, saying, "Well, I got some bad news." I like the way he did that because it's totally Whitey fashion.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I love all his jokes. He's just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would you rate it?
I'd give this episode like a 7.
Oh my god.
What? What do you rate it?
I'm gonna give it an 8, but you always give low scores.
I do. I don't like rating anything too high ever.
Oh my god.
You gotta really impress me to get a high score.
And then who is your best and worst?
My best character would be Mr. Whitey for all he does to help out his students. My worst character, definitely Dan Scott.
Uh, so for me, the best, I'm gonna go with Karen
That's a good one.
because she did that for Whitey, made that big speech, made a dig in there at Dan,
Yeah,
and she did give Nathan some advice, which I think pushed him towards making a decision. Finally,
about time.
yeah. So I think that's what made him realize it is like after talking to Karen.
Yes.
Even though of course that's not what we want is a divorce. It was just nice that he finally made a choice. Um, and then obviously the worst was Dan Scott. I mean, nobody in this episode could beat him in this when you choke
No.
somebody.
No, yeah, he almost killed his own son.
Yeah, I mean, not only were you trying to get Whitey fired, which you were the worst for that, but
Yep.
then you go and choke your own kid to death.
That's the cherry
Oh,
on top.
yeah. So yeah, worst.
I think Dan will always be my worst.
Yeah, probably for me too. I think at the end, I feel like he's gonna be the worst for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good villain. He's fun to watch, but God, he's not a good guy.
But you know, when he's on screen, a lot of time you're just like rolling your eyes, like, of course, like
Yep.
this is what Dan does. well,
Every
some
time.
some villains you're just like, oh my god, like turn off the screen. But it's like for him, you want to watch him, but then
You
you're like,
want to see what his next move is because it's so shocking.
and then you're just eye rolling the whole time.
Yes.
But that's what makes him, yeah, that's what makes him a good villain.
He's definitely entertaining.
Not like others. All right. So thank you guys for listening, and thank you, Jaycee, for joining.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yep, and then next episode you will be recapping with Cynthia.
Yes.
All right. Talk to you guys next time.
Later.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.